Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again. It's another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London town at 1 a.m., also Friday at 9 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and thank you so much for being here for another edition of Talk Back Live. We are going to be here for a whole full hour, and we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. And we want to invite each and every one of you to join in with us to share our moments with a little talk and conversation. You could be part of the action. For those of you who've been around with us a long time ago, you already know the deal. So give me an opportunity to talk to some of the people who may possibly be first-time viewers of this show. Let me tell you how this works. Of course, as a host, I'm going to start off the show with conversation. And of course, you can chime in on conversation very easily. That's why we call this Talk Back Live. All you have to do is use your little fingers, right? And you get on the keyboard, on your computer, on your phone, or even on your tablet. Say whatever you have to say. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And of course, I will announce that. And of course, I will, entertain that. And we could talk. Even if it's just so much as saying hello, you could do that too. And you can join a conversation with others who may be coming in as well. That's how we do it. And you ought to know that we come from 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram as well. So wherever you're watching, we really appreciate, and we hope that you can stay with us for the full hour. And if you can't, which I hope that's not the case, maybe, we'll just say we'll appreciate the time that you can give us, but hopefully that you can stay with us for the full hour and enjoy the show. Now, those of you who are watching us for the first time, if you're watching us on Facebook, you can take the opportunity right now while the show is young, while we're just getting revved up right now, and tag this show to all of your friends. Maybe not all, because maybe you have too many friends, but as many as you like, that's for sure, because the more the merrier. The more that we see, the more the merrier. And if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, they may become full-fledged members just like you. And we really appreciate that. So do that right now. We really appreciate that. And for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to go onto my YouTube channel. If you're there right now, you can take the time out, if you haven't done thus far, is to subscribe to us. There's a thing what they call the mouse. This is a mouse, right? All you have to do is point it over to that arrow, right where it says subscribe, and click onto it, and that's all it takes. There's no money involved in it. It's absolutely free. And the purpose of all of that is because from here on in, when you do that, every time we come on the air live and you happen to be online and forget about that we're supposed to be on the air, it gives you a notification that we're on the air, and all you have to do is click onto that notification. And of course, right there, it'll bring you right to us. And that's all it takes. Now, for the people who are watching us on Facebook, when you tag your friends, they'll see your notification. They'll see your notification, and they will click onto that, and I'll bring them right here with us live. So there you go, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. That's where we are. And you people on Instagram too. All you have to do, absolutely nothing. So the only thing that you have to do is just keep the word percolating. Tell your family and friends about us. Let them know that we're out there with us. And maybe they'll join in and full-fledged members just like the rest of them. And that's what you'll do. So I'm glad to have you guys out there with us because there's so much to talk about today. We've got a lot to talk about today. And we're going to talk about that. And again, you can join in on the conversation. Now, what we normally do, we have a routine that we do in conjunction with talking to you as well. We have sports coming up. And this very first part of the first half hour, not too long from now, just a few minutes from now, we're going to hook up with Brian Camp. Brian is coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, we always link up with him each week, and he's coming along to bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube and and Facebook. You'll get a chance to meet them. We'll have them, you'll see them right there on the screen, and you'll get a chance to meet them. And if you have any sports questions or anything of that sort, you could ask them while we're on the air live right now. And but unfortunately, for the people who are watching us on Instagram, you won't be able to see him because we're not designed that way. We're hopefully somehow Instagram will, have a feature where we can do that. But in the meantime, you could still hear him. You'll hear him, but you won't be able to see him. And you could still communicate with him. All you have to do, again, use your fingers, let your fingers do the walking, type in what you have to say, ask him any kind of question. And of course, he'll probably have the answers for you. I'm pretty sure he will have the answers for you when it comes to sports. So all of that is coming up, the latest developments in today's world of sports. Also, we have this thing that we also do on the show, a little feature that we call This Day in History. This Day in History, we recite all of the things that happened on this day in history as far back as maybe you could remember, from way back when up until maybe sometime last year. This day in history, we're going to have all of that for you. That's coming up too. And of course, later on in the program too, don't forget, we have those movies. Now, those of you who have a weekend coming up, we all have a weekend coming up. But if you happen to have one of those moments where you don't have to do absolutely nothing, but sit back, relax, maybe you want to use part of that weekend and catch up on some movies you haven't seen in a long time. Movies. I always have my picks of the week direct from Turner Classic Movies that you could watch. And of course, I'm going to convey that to you later on and put that on your bucket list on what to watch. So there's so many things happening, and so many things to talk about, and so many things to do. And again, we invite you all to stay with us for the whole hour and give us a chance and get to know us. That's all we ask. Just get to know us and let us know what's happening. Well, the summer is just about over, right? As a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, as a matter of fact, the summer is wrapping up pretty shortly, because this Saturday, this Saturday will be the official first day of autumn, right? That's official. The first day of autumn will happen this Saturday. And before you know it, we're going to be winding those clocks. That's another thing I want to talk about later on, those clocks, because I remember before we went spring up for the spring. Remember when I relayed to you one time that when it comes to bringing the clock back, that they're not going to do it this year? I haven't heard any more about that. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're going to bring the clocks back. We'll tell you more about that. We're going to find out more about that. The time is not right now, but we're going to find out more about that. I'm going to research all of that, and let's see what's happening. That because what they said is that they were going to not set the clocks, spring up, fall back, right? So they weren't going to bring the clocks back an hour, because they wanted more daylight around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what they said at one time. And I haven't heard about it since. So we're going to have to see. I'll research it for you and we'll find out about it, but you'll get to know about it. Anyway, with all of that, we've got a lot of things going on. Like I said, summer is, you could say it's over right now. Depending on where you are, you may have still warm weather, and we're probably not finished with the warm weather. Here in New York right now, the weather was kind of breezy and nice, not too warm, but just breezy, nice, moderate. But I guess I can safely say that I think we're through with the heat waves, and depending on where you are, because some places like in Arizona or Nevada or someplace in California where temperatures seem to go high because they're all desert and it stays warm for a longer time. We're going to find out what's happening in Charlotte, North Carolina, as far as the weather's concerned over there where Brian is, because I always kind of monitor my weather through the South, because whatever weather he gets, I say, well, I could probably look forward to that. If he gets rain, not all the time, but some of the times we get that following rain because it moves up north. But anyway, all of that's happening, and he's going to be here to tell you more about that. Also want to tell you that this month we're, elaborating on a couple of things this month. I don't know if you care about it, but you should. And I bring it out to you because I think some people, they think about it and they care about it. But this month is National Fruits and Veggies Month. Eat your fruits and veggies. Now, they say that the body requires or should have 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Now, I don't know of a human being on the face of this earth that eat that much vegetables, fruits and vegetables. I know people do it moderately, but I don't see anyone or hear of anyone taking fruits and vegetables and cramming them down their throat every day. 5 servings, they say. So since I don't believe that people do that, that's why they have supplements for you. But nevertheless, whenever you can, eat a banana, have an apple, pop down some grapes, cherries, or whatever. Cherries out of season now, so they're gone. You can forget about that. Or other great fruits, that's good for the body. Other great vegetables, I like broccoli and asparagus and greens and all of that stuff, But that's what this is all about, National Fruits and Veggies Month. So act accordingly. Another thing that we're working on too this month, and this is a little more serious than anything else, is we're also acknowledging National Suicide Prevention Month. And of course, that's very important too. They're elaborating on that, which I think is very important. And just so you know, if you or anyone a loved one, a friend, yourself or whatever is in crisis, here's a number to call. You could actually text them as well. You can text or call 988. Simple as that, 988 if you're in crisis. So we keep that in mind for National Suicide Prevention Month, okay? And we want everybody to stay healthy at the same time and stay alive. And so again, that number for texting, if you're in crisis or anyone that's in crisis, that number would be 988. Either text it or call it, either one. And someone who's on the phone, always able to help you out. So do that. I want to say hello to all of you guys who are just coming in. If you're watching us live, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, Instagram, and we're coming to you live from New York City. And we want all of you to be involved with us. Tell your friends about it. Get on there and get on the phone or whatever, any kind of communication you have with your friends and your family. Get on the phone right now and tell them, come with us. Well, we got something good going here, and you won't be lying to them. Well, we got something good going here. Okay, a little bad news in the entertainment field this week. It's always something, I don't like to report these things, but Irish Grinstead, a member of the R&B girl group 702, known for hit songs like Where My Girl's At, well, she died this week. She died last Saturday, and she was 43 years old. It's a very popular group, 702, amongst the young people. They know that group better than the rest of us do. But she passed away. She was 43 years old. And they said that she was in a hospital for a while. She was having issues. There was one point in her career where she had to cancel gigs, drop out of the group for a while until things started shaping up for her. But the toll took on her, and she passed away last Saturday. So we want to send all of our sincerest condolences out to her family. Her sister released the statement last Saturday, as a matter of fact. That's how we all found out about it. And of course, it was all over the internet. I'm pretty sure, Facebook, YouTube, they all covered it. TikTok, I don't know too much about TikTok because I'm not a TikToker and I'm not a TikTok subscriber or anything like that. But I do watch TikTok because I like the entertainment on there. But anyways, it was all over the internet, all over social media. And so we just found out she was 43 years old. Wow, that's young. That is young. That is really young. Anyway, we're so glad to have you aboard with us. We want you to stay with us and give us your thoughts and opinions about whatever we want to talk about. Now, you can talk about anything you want. If there's something that you want to talk about in particular, as we bring up subjects, it could be, we talk about everything from soup to nuts here. So all you have to do is, as I said, type in, let everybody know that you're out there typing in. And also, while you're here too, you can talk to the people who may be coming in. There are people that are out there, they talk. Now, some people do not want to get involved in conversation. They just rather sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And that's fine too. Because the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're there. It's not that, and we would love to, I would love to talk to you and address you and greet you personally. But if what you want to do is just sit back, relax, and not worry about it and just watch the show, we appreciate anything you can do. So again, thank you guys for being part of us. And again, we'll be here for a whole hour. Okay, babble, 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 babble. It's time for me to stop babbling right now, right? Because right now, I am going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, because as I promised you earlier, at the beginning of the show, we got Brian Camp coming along with us. And he's coming along with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. And Brian, I know the football season is here. Whenever he comes in, wait for him to pop up. See him right now. I don't see him right now. He's in black right now. I see his name.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Yeah, no, I don't know why is that, but I mean, I did everything right.
Okay. So what's going on? I don't know. Keep checking, see what you got. Check your camera. Okay. Well, he booted out again.
No, I'm right here. I'm just trying. It's just, you see, I'm between states of Virginia and North Carolina right now, so the signal is bad. It's very bad. So I don't have. I guess I don't have the right stuff here. So, but anyway, good evening to you and to everybody out there.
Listen, let me ask you a question. Is there any way you could put a picture up there or something? At least we won't have black when you talk.
No picture. I don't know. I don't have nothing out there. No, nothing on here. Sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to do it like this and everything. But yes, hello to you and everybody out there. Hope all is well. And it is right now where I'm at. I'm in in Virginia right now, in Lawrenceville, where it is 71 degrees. Yeah, kind of chilly. So I was in the state of Virginia for most of the day, headed back to Charlotte, North Carolina, and that's where I'm at right now. So here's some sports. This day in sports, let me give you an abbreviation of the schedule. September 21st, American League okays the Washington Senators move to Arlington, Texas. This is how they became the Texas Rangers, believe it or not, because they were once the Washington Senators. The late Ted Williams was the manager for them in that year too as well. 1980, Richard Todd of the New York Jets completes 42 passes in a game. It was an NFL record at that time. Since then, that was eclipsed by a couple of quarterbacks. 1981, Enterprise Radio, all sports goes off the air. Yes, they were all sports at one time. They go off the air. Why? Probably financial difficulties. 1981, Major League Baseball Philadelphia Phillies. Steve Carlton strikes out a record of 3,118 batters. He's the all-time National League strikeout leader. Yes. And 1990, Major League Commissioner Fay Vincent turns down the Chicago White Sox bid to reinstate the 68-year-old Manny Minoso. Many of you may know him. He was known as a pinch hitter, but before that, he was a Major League Baseball player. And he retired at a very late age, but they deny him reinstatement at the age of 68. Birthdays today, 1948, Artis Gilmore. Remember Artis Gilmore from Jacksonville University? Was an ABA and an NBA All-Star. He was a center, was born in Shipley, Florida. 1958, Rick Mahorn. Happy birthday to him. NBA forward, born in Hartford, Connecticut. And in 1963, Cecil Fielder, Major League first baseman, was born in Los Angeles, California. And ladies and gentlemen, that's an abbreviation of sports here in Lawrenceville, Virginia.
And we come out of the black into the light.
Yeah, maybe, maybe that's why I'm in the dark, because I'm in Virginia. Let me not say that. I don't want to get in trouble with the people in Virginia. There's some good people here, but we don't have that problem when I'm in Charlotte. So, but in any event, I made it here. I'm glad I was able to do it. I was supposed to have been back home, believe it or not, but we had to take care of some family business out here in Virginia, and we're headed back. But I always make sure, I want to keep my loyalty to the show, that I was going to be here, and I am here, whether you can see me or not, but I'm here.
Are you in an area where it's like no man's land or something like that? Are you in one of those?
Yes, and that's another thing. The signals out here is horrific. It's horrible.
Can you see Can you monitor your Wi-Fi? Do you see obviously you're communicating, you're here, but I was wondering your Wi-Fi symbol.
The Wi-Fi for right now, as we speak, is very good. Believe it or not, it's very good.
Okay.
But it's just that I'm in an area where there's just a lot of static. I will probably go in and out sooner or later, because that's how it is. Once I hit the border of North Carolina, I should be fine.
Yeah.
But yes.
I'm just trying to figure how your camera, how that affects your camera. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm looking at it right now. You had a full screen, and now it's like narrow screen. Now it's full screen again.
Yeah, I just twisted around. Maybe I was hoping that I was able to switch something around.
What? Let me ask you. Do me a favor. Where it says where you have your camera symbol down at the bottom.
No, it's supposed to say when I come on. I come on where it says mute and stop video. So once those X's are on there, I press those.
What I want you to do is click on that arrow where next to your camera symbol where it says stop video. Click onto that for me. All right.
I just did. Yes.
You see a listing there, right? What do you see? What is that check mark?
I see. There's no check mark. It says mute. Then it says start video, share content, and participants.
No. You click.
So if I click on,
no, are you sure where it says where that camera symbol stop video? There's an arrow right next to it. So,
yes.
So when you click onto that arrow, it's supposed to say select the camera.
Well, it says only the host can share in his meeting.
I don't know.
See, I just did it the other way. Still. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what? Oh, I know what it is. Don't go nowhere.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
It was my iPad cover that was covering it up. That's why. Oh, boy. My wife is laughing at me. My wife is laughing at me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry.
You're still
people that's looking.
You're still in the dark.
I'm still in the dark. Oh, well, because you're not allowed to have your interior lights while driving. That's why. That's against the law. I only got one on for the time that I'm on here.
That's against the law. You know something? Wherever you are, you better get out of town, because that don't look like a safe place where you are.
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's just, and that's the thing. The highway is just dark. It's just dark. You see, I got my red jersey on, the Patrick Mahomes jersey. I'm still a Cowboys fan, but I do believe in wearing some of the famous players' jerseys and everything. So that's why I like wearing jerseys. But yes, you see me. I'm wearing all red today.
I see Patrick Mahomes all over the place. God.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. He's a phenomenon. Yes.
So many endorsements. I hope he's a young guy. He's a young kid. And I hope
He just turned 28. He
all
just turned 28.
right.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a kid, but you know what I mean. Compared to me, he's a.
Yeah.
But
Yes, he is.
I hope he stays on the straight and narrow, because a lot of these guys, you know, they star football players and baseball players, and then then they get endorsements, and then later on, not all of them, but later on, you know, they make the wrong turn in life, and then what do you know? You know.
Well, I think personally he will stay on. He's saying the right things. His
Yeah.
father is a former professional baseball player too. He used to play for the New York Mets.
Yeah.
And his father, you know, really guides him. He coaches him. But even without his father, he says the right thing.
Yeah.
He had his contract to be restructured so he could add better players to his team.
Yeah.
So that they could win. To him, it's all about winning. And he says the right thing. He says, I think I make enough money, even though I'm the 9th highest paid player in the league. I make enough money where I could do well for myself. But because he also makes a lot of money in the field as well with these endorsements.
Yeah.
That's where athletes make their money from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and he's married too, right? He's married.
He's married. I think he got a couple of kids.
Yeah, he's married.
He's
So
doing well.
So yeah, he's going to stay on the straight and narrow, because a woman has a way of keeping a guy in check.
Yeah, well, my wife got her head plugs on. Yeah, I guess you could say that, though. But I'm glad she didn't hear that. So yeah,
that's women will keep you in check. So he's going to be fine. You know,
I agree. Yes,
he's going to be fine. Anyway, while you're driving along, enjoy the ride, but get out wherever you are, get out of there quick.
yes.
We won't see you tomorrow.
You won't see me tomorrow. I tried to send my information. I'm going to send it again. The Wi-Fi blew out. We've had some winds when I left home, but it's back on now, to my understanding. So I'm going to send the information tonight.
Yeah, good enough. Well, okay. Other than that, you'll be back here next week.
I'll be back here next week. Yes.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk to you then.
All right. Everybody stay safe, and just pray for me that I get back to Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes.
I just lit a candle. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
Bye. It's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, in the dark. You know, it was worse. It was worse when he first came on. He had his lens of his camera. I knew there was something going on. They couldn't be any possibility that he comes on that strong vocally and not have his camera. That's why I told him to go to that little icon down there where he says stop video, because there's a little arrow that you can click on, and it'll give you options, and it'll tell you where your camera is. It'll tell you what camera, because you could choose, you may have a connected external camera along with your built-in camera. Now, when it comes to computers and things like that, I prefer an external camera, because, you know, on the laptops and all of those devices, you know, the quality output is not as great. So, but anyway, we're glad he got through. That's the most important thing, he got through. He'll be back here next week. We won't see him tomorrow. He's usually tomorrow on the coffee hour. And, you know, he does the sports, you know, in the morning, but he won't be here tomorrow. So he's going to send us his information, and we're going to cover for him when he comes in. And in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I'm Frank Allan, and I'm going to be with you till the top of the hour. Hey, Debbie Kirkland. I want to say hello to Debbie Kirkland out there. And thank you so much, Debbie, for being along. Debbie and I go way back, way back. See, a lot of the people that, you know, come on the show and watch the show. A lot of them I know, not all of them, but a lot of them that I have worked with over the years. And so Debbie, Thank you for visiting, and stay with us if you possibly can. Anyway, we're going to be here, as I said, to the top of the hour. And we've got like a half hour to go on the program. Another half hour to go. If you could hang out, if you could stand it. Another half hour to go in the program. And we thank you so much for being along with us. Okay, I think it's that time, don't you think? Oh yeah, it's that time. It's this day in history. This day in history. On this day in history in 1928, My Weekly Reader. Remember the My Weekly Reader magazine that debuted that year in 1928? I never forget, I was in elementary school and we used to get the My Weekly Reader in school. That was one of our great magazines that we used to get. But anyway, that debuted in 1928. I didn't realize that. I don't know if it exists anymore. I'm no longer in elementary school. Well, at least, anyway. Okay, on this day in history, 1938, RKO film comedy Room Service starring the Marx Brothers premieres in New York City. On this day in history in 1948, Milton Berle becomes the permanent host of NBC TV show Texaco Star Theater. On this day in history in 1953, KRDO TV, Channel 13 in Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Colorado, ABC station did their first broadcast. On this day in history, 1986, the 83rd Emmy Awards go to the Golden Girls, Cagney and Lacey and Michael J. Fox. Back in 1993, Melissa Etheridge releases her breakthrough second studio album. The name of that album was called Yes, I Am, and it featured the single, I'm the One, I'm the Only One. And on this day in history, 1998, TV comedy Will and Grace, starring Eric McCormick and Deborah Messing, premieres in the USA. In 2016, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, we all know him, right? If you're a Facebooker, you know him. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife, Priscilla Chan, pledged $3 billion to medical research to cure, prevent, or even manage all diseases by the end of the century. Do you believe that? And they say, do you believe that money is the answer to everything? I don't know. Anyway, I still look around and we're still in the same old routine. Okay, in 2018, American singer-songwriter Paul Simon closes his Homeward Bound farewell tour at Flushing Meadows, Corona Park in Queens and New York City. Actor Larry Hagman was born on this day in 1931, and he was born in Fort Worth, Texas. He died November 23rd, 2012, at the age of 81 years old from complications of throat cancer. In 1935, actor-comedian Henry Gibson of Laugh-In was born in Germantown, Pennsylvania. He passed away in 2009. On this day in history, 1944, actress-comedian Fannie Flagg was born on this day in Birmingham, Alabama. She's still with us. She's 79 years old today. Horror author Stephen King was born on this day in 1947 in Portland, Maine. He's 76 years old today. Actor-comedian Bill Murray was born on this day in 1950 in Evanston, Illinois, and he's 73 years old today. Back in 1962, actor Rob Morrow was born in New Rochelle in New York City, or that's part of New York, and he's 51 years old today. Country singer Faith Hill was born on this day in 1967 in Richland, Mississippi. She's 56 years old today. Actress Ricki Lake was born on this day in 1968 in New York City. She's 55 today. In 1969, actor, singer Billy Porter was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on this day. He's 54 years old. He's a Broadway star. In 1945, publisher Malcolm Forbes weds Roberta Remsen Laylaw. In 1967, comedian Frank Zappa weds Gail Sloatman in New York City up until his death. In 1996, John F. Kennedy Jr. weds Carolyn Bessette. That's how you pronounce it, Brissett. And they got married in Cumberland, Ireland, in Georgia. In 1996, model Christy Brinkley, or they call her supermodel, whatever you want to call her, she got married for the fourth time to Peter Cook. In 1998, we go back to Rob Morrow, the actor Rob Morrow. He was actress Debon Ayer on his 36th birthday. In 1995, actor and TV host Wayne Brady divorces Diane Lasso after almost 2 years of marriage. In 1973, actress Diana Sands of Raisin in the Sun died at the age of 39 years old. Author Jacqueline Suzanne was born on this, or she died on this day in 1974 at the age of 56 years old from cancer. She was born August 20th in 1918 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1974, actor Walter Brennan of the Real McCoys dies at the age of 80 years old. And finally, actor Melvin Van Peebles died on this day. In 2021, at the age of 89 years old, he was born August 21st, 1932 in Chicago, Illinois. And that's this day in history. And those of you who may know something that happened on this day in history and I didn't know anything about it or I didn't mention anything about it, please feel free and, come along, feel free and type it in. And of course, I'll convey it to everyone else. And here we are once again, as I said, it's Thursday here on the East Coast, Thursday, and it's another weekend coming upon us, and we're waiting around for that. I don't know what you're going to do on the weekend, but I hope whatever you do it on the safe side. And speaking of the weekend, later on in the program, I am going to give you the movies that you enjoy so much, all of those Turner Classic movies. Those are my picks of the week. They're always my picks of the week on Turner Classic movies that I bring to all of you to add to your movies on what to watch this weekend. If you so desire to watch movies, catch up on some movies. Now, a lot of you, on the weekends, you do a lot of things. And some people may be in an area where the weather is not going to be that good this weekend, and they know that. And what they'll probably do is say, I'm going to sit back, relax, and I'm just going to enjoy some nice movies. So I'm going to give you my pick of the week, the movies to add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch. Now, I always ask you guys, if you want to chime in, please feel free. And of course, I'll speak to you as you come along because we're live. Keep going live, and I'll talk to you because I love talking to all of you guys, interacting with all of you guys, if you so desire. But if you would like to stay back and relax and say, nah, I'd just rather sit back and watch the show, and that's good too. But on the other hand, some people may want to get in touch, and that's great too, because I have two ways you can do that. You can either email me or you can phone me. I have an email address and a telephone number that I'm going to convey to you right now. Let's start with the email address. The email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or you can call, the number is 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467-134. Now you can get in touch with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anytime you want. We're always open. I may be asleep, but it's always open. I don't know. And then, if you need someone to get back in touch with you, we'll certainly do that. Now, you may want to email us or call us for various reasons. For instance, you may want to say, I have an idea that you can put on your show, or I like to see a certain person come on your show, or I like to be on your show, or I got a new group that we want to come on your show and perform for you, or whatever it is. Or you may want to critique the show, which is fine. We are really thick skin around here, so nothing hurts us. We can't be hurt. You can only help us when you do that. And even if you just want to call up or write and just say, hi, I saw the show, get off the air and don't come back again. That's all right too. Listen, as long as we hear from you, that's all we have to do. Is just as long as we hear from you, that's the most important thing. So please do that. Keep all of this information in your cell phone or wherever you think you might need it at your disposal, and you can use it anytime you want. So let me give you that email address again. It's Frank Allan Prod. Now let me spell Allan for you, because if you spell it any other way than I'm about to spell it, then you will not by any means get in touch with me. So the spelling is absolutely important. It's Allan. Allan. If you put ENINYN or whatever it is, I won't receive your email. That's Frank Allan Prod, ALLAN, Frank Allan Prod. Prod is short for Productions, PROD, Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. The number 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Again, that's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I look forward to hearing from you. I really do. Okay, so do that for us. Well, you know, it's been a long week. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, we've got a lot of things ahead of us. You already know about everything that's happening right now. We're going crazy here because we've got a possible government shutdown coming along. And if you're not counting, well, let me count for you. It's going to happen a week from this Saturday. That's September 30th. And I think the time is Saturday night, midnight. Saturday night, midnight, if there's a strike at all, or if there's a shutdown at all, Saturday night, that's when it'll happen. Unless, of course, there's some miracle that comes along saying, okay, we covered everything, we've got everything going, and don't worry about it. We've got a lot of things upon us. And then we even have the Hollywood strike. The unions are on strike right now. They had a negotiating meeting today. I don't think anything materialized in that, of course, as far as I could see right now, unless something happened while I was on the air, I don't know. But they had a negotiating meeting, and at some point during the day, they said, hey, there may be a possible breakthrough. All right, I haven't heard anything since. If anybody knows about that right now, if you're out there watching, let me know. And if you have good information on that, that would be great. But anyway, we have that Hollywood strike, and that's not it. If that weren't enough, we have the AWU strike, the Auto Workers Union in Detroit, Michigan, and they're striking. Everyone wants something. And you know something, I got to tell you something, guys. You know, I can't get angry at these people because these are union people, and these people have families. They have mortgages, they have rent to pay, they have food to put on their table, just like the rest of us. And me, I'm a union person, right? I'm a pro-union person through and through. And if it comes to the point where all of these big companies are making the money off of these people, these big companies, they're making money hand over fist, billions and billions and billions of dollars. The Hollywood strike, these guys are making billions and billions of dollars. And some of the people who are on strike right now in the unions, right, in the Hollywood union, right, they're on the picket line, but at the same time, they're trying to figure out how they're going to pay next month's rent. You know, I've heard some actors, and I'm not talking about the high-profile actors. I'm not talking about people like Denzel Washington or Robert Redford or Meryl Streep or any of those actors. I mean, those are high-profile actors, but I'm talking about some of the actors that play parts occasionally. And sometimes they have to sit back and wait for the phone to ring, those kind of actors, right? And they're trying to make a career out of this. They're trying to make it a full-time position for them. But in this case, while everyone's on strike, and I'm talking about the writers, the producers, and everything from the writers to producers to the caterers, everyone, it's affecting everyone in that industry. And of course, you know, you already heard about the AI information, that sort of thing. I mean, technology has just taken everything and just left everyone in the dust, you know, and it's hard for people to get work, people who want to do voiceover work. It's hard to get now for people who legitimately are announcers that do voiceovers work. Because I remember a long time ago, people, they had legitimate voiceover artists that do commercials and things like that. But a lot of these gigs, especially the movie voiceover artists, are going to legitimate actors, you know. So they set aside, I mean, the people with names, you know. So they set aside the people who have worked hard to get where they were going to do their art and voice work. And they don't seem to get the positions because now they're being replaced by legitimate actors. And now the legitimate actors somewhat are being replaced by IA, artificial intelligence. You know what that's all about. Technology has gotten so great today, they could make you sound or make you look in a certain way, or they could use you once and not use you again and use you forever because they have your image. Technology is slick. I mean, they just, it's while it's great, it gets a little slick. And so they don't have to shell out the money. And that's what these people are out. They want to work. They want to get back to work. The writers, they want to get back to work. And of course, I don't see how these shows can go on without writers. I don't see it. I don't see how that's going to happen. But I know Bill Maher, he was getting ready to put back his show together. Right? He was getting ready to put back his show together. And now the latest thing, because we reported that last week on the show, that Bill Maher was going to go and, you know, do his production without his writers. And then he came back and made the announcement that he's going to put everything on hold. So is Drew Barrymore and a lot of other people, especially Drew Barrymore, when she got a lot of blowback from saying that she's going to get the show going, she's going to keep the show rolling, but the blowback and the pressure, I guess, was too much. So now she's putting it on pause. All right. So there's so much going on. But getting back to the government, the government shutdown, I want to get back to that because I think it's very important for everyone to know, because I know it's going to affect all of us. Government shutdown, it affects all of us. Now, I want to get to one point so you'll know. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, how is that going to affect me? Well, I'll tell you, they're shutting down a lot of government offices, except for maybe the post office. Now, the post office, the mail is still going to go through. The mail is still going to go through because the post office, the people who work for the post office, that is not funded by the government. I didn't know this. I just found this out. It's not funded by the government. It's self-funded. So the mail delivery is still going to go on. The next question you may ask is, well, I'm retired and my Social Security and SSI, you know, I'm looking forward to that. You know, how is that going to affect me? I got good news for you on that. That will not affect you at all. Your Social Security, SSI, all of that's coming to you will continue to come to you and continue to come to you on time. So you don't have to worry about that. Those of you, though, who are seeking to get Social Security cards or a Social Security number, well, they're not going to, during this, if it happens, it's not happening yet, we'll keep our fingers crossed and make sure, hopefully, everything will pan out and pan out really well and benefit everyone. But if it so happens that the government shutdown happens, then there is not going to be any distribution of Social Security cards or Social Security numbers, which is a bad thing because people apply for Social Security cards because they need to get that to get jobs. They want to work and you have to have a social security number for jobs, or maybe even to take out a loan or something. Basically, you need social security numbers, a social security number for everything. So if the shutdown happens, that's what's going to happen. So that's going to be put on hold. So I guess my point is that if you're seeking to do or get a social security number, you better do it now. I don't know if you'll get it in time. I don't know how that's going to happen, but the government is not shut down right now. Do whatever you have to do it, and do it now. Do it now. But again, for you guys who are collecting Social Security, you retired, you're collecting Social Security, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. But the other government offices that you may have to go, I'm not sure about the workers. I would imagine if the government is shut down, obviously the government workers are not going to be working. So there's something, so they won't get paid, you know? So, you know, it affects everyone. So the people in Washington, D.C. has to get, you know, one guy to end this all right now. You got that Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. All he has to do is say, you know, I'm tired of this, you know, grow a spine and say, like, I'm tired of this. We can't shut down. We've got to do this in a bipartisan way. You need Republicans and you need Democrats to keep this thing going, keep the country going, but everything is Splitsville. But we're going to need, and if he's watching, I don't know if he's watching, he's probably not, because he's probably just tapping the gavel because he doesn't believe the fact that he is the House Speaker. So he's tapping his gavel. You know, all he has to do, he can end this all today. All he has to do is just grow the spine and say, no, we got to get this thing. We got to get Republicans, because I do know Republicans who are willing to work. There are Democrats who are willing to work. Not all Republicans are bad. Not all Democrats are bad. There are some Republicans that want to see this country move forward and not backwards. There are some Democrats that want to see this country move forward and not backwards. And so all he has to do is say, I'm going to grab these people and we'll start from there. And let's keep this government open. So if it happens again, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be on Saturday, a week from Saturday. And if nothing comes to a head or no one agrees to anything, then what's going to happen is they're going to shut down the government. And how long will the government be shut down? Heaven only knows. No one knows. You know, I don't want to see this government shut down. We have enough problems going on. The government shut down, the Hollywood strike, the auto workers union, you know, everyone is jumping on the bandwagon. You know, they say if this guy, they want to fight for money, we want to fight for money too. We want to fight for a better living. We want to fight for our paychecks. And I feel sorry for the government workers, you know, because they're taking a big hit as well. Probably a bigger hit than anyone else. So we'll keep you informed if anything materializes. We'll keep you informed. We have a whole week ahead of us to materialize. And Attorney General Merrick Garland forcefully rebuked congressional Democrats who have accused the Justice Department of political bias as he opened a contentious House Judicial Committee hearing in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. You heard about that? I saw it. And I liked his statement. He got up there, he said it immediately. He just wanted everyone to know, and he said it. He said it, I am not the president's lawyer. And I also want to add, I am not the Congress prosecutor. I almost said something different. Prosecutor, you know? And I saw that hearing yesterday. I thought it was a clown show, and each time, and it's the and also I rag on the Republicans. I also rag on the Democrats when they're not doing their thing. I rag on everybody. If you're not doing your thing, if you're not going to do the right thing. But I thought it was a clown show. But I like the way Merrick Garland handled himself. They were trying to put him on the spot. You know, they were just going after him. You know, and all they could talk about is this Biden, this Biden situation. You know, Hunter Biden this, Hunter Biden that. Hunter Biden will get his. You know, let them take care of Hunter Biden. But they want to take this to a further level. And now they want to have this inquiry, this impeachment inquiry for Joe Biden, who has absolutely nothing to do with his son's dealings. And of course, you could thank people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who, by the way, holds the strings. She's the puppeteer. I hate to say it, but she's the puppeteer for Kevin McCarthy. Think about it. Think about that. Oh, here's something else that we got to talk about. Former Trump aide, I use the name, I don't use that name too soon, but I want to get this out of the way. But I usually call him, if you're just joining us for the first time, his name, well, he has a new name now. Now I call him in the beginning 345/666 Beast Incarnate. All right. But he has a new name now. And his new name is, he's the inmate number P01135809. 345/666 Beast Incarnate as well. Anyway, the former Trump aide, Cassidy Hutchinson, have a lot of respect for her, alleged in her new book that Rudy Giuliani groped her backstage during the former president's rally on January 6th, that fateful day, just hours before the riot hit the Capitol. Now, I didn't know that she wrote a book, but I'm going to try to get my hands on that book and take a look at it. I didn't know that she wrote a book, but to tell you the truth, guys, I wouldn't put it past Giuliani. You know, I'm not going to say that he actually did that because I don't believe everything I read or everything I hear. But with his history and his drunken binge and all of that, I wouldn't put it past him. I wouldn't put it past him. So I'm going to see if I can get my hands on that book and read it for myself to see what she has to say on that. But so far she's been credible. So at this particular point, I'm going to take her word as gospel. Yeah. Okay, it's time for me to give you the movies, all right? I only have one this week, all right? Now, each week, I bring you the movies of the week, right? My pick of the week, direct from Turner Classic Movies, as you already know, right? Because that's what I like to do. I like to enhance your weekend. You may be doing something other than watching movies, but if you like to watch movies, I want to add to your bucket list of movies on what to watch. And this week, I only have one. And I think you're going to like this one. I've seen it before. I loved it. It's if you like music, this will take you back to 1976. And the movie is called Sparkle, starring Philip Michael Thomas, and Irene Cara, and Lynette McKee. And that's coming on Turner Classic Movies. That's coming on this Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Now, I don't know, it's Sunday morning. It's a weekend. Some people like to stay in bed for a long time, but there's no excuse. You could always DVR the show and watch at your very own convenience later on. You can do that. So that's 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And after you get back from church, you could watch it. So there's no excuse. DVR this movie. It's a great movie, Sparkle. And of course, when you go to online and you go there to Turner Classic Movies and you go there on demand, you can pick out more movies that may be available that I didn't mention, but this is just my pick of the week. There may be more that you may like. So you can look through that program guide. And while you're there, you could also check out other movies and sports and documentaries and children programs. They're all right there. So let me tell you this movie once again. It's called Sparkle, and that's with Philip Michael Thomas, Irene Cara, and Lynette McKee. And that's Turner Classic Movies. That's this Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. I hope you enjoy it. It's a great movie, and I think you'll thank me for it. In the meantime, it's time for me to kick rocks. So what I'm going to do is come back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have the coffee hour. Brian Camp is not going to be here with me for sports, but I will fill in the gaps for him, and I hope that you will be here too. And then come back here next week once again for more of Talk Back Live every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's right here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. So in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have a wonderful morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, and I will see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.